Hi, welcome to Live from My Office. This is a special edition of Live from My Office. It's an after school special, if you will, because it's after school when we're recording this. From the left to the right, as you look at the screen, sporting a very stylish Cubs hat. That'd be your Mike Toomey. Mike
Yes.
From Channel 9 and stand-up comedy and crime fighter as well.
Yes. By night, yes.
And we're gonna need an explanation on the shirt. Yeah.
This is my Wolfman shirt, and as I was telling you guys before we aired, one day I was sitting around going, you know what? I don't have a shirt with Wolfman on it. So you'd be surprised what you can find on the web. And I typed it in, Lon Chaney Wolfman, not just any Wolfman, Lon Chaney Wolfman.
Sure.
And look at that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, I love the idea of Tim Benker, who joins us as well, dead center. Tim Benker, very, very funny, and his record is now clean, expunged by the governor. But Tim, don't you love that Mike was sitting around and a thought occurred to him?
That I didn't
have a T-shirt with a Wolfman on it.
You want to know something? I had that thought one time, and I just dismissed it. I'm like,
he just sat on it. He didn't do anything.
To pursue this any further.
I have two Wolfman shirts. This is the Chaney.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, there's just a generic Wolfman.
So you have
I have a Wolfman Jack outfit that I can wear as an old disc jockey.
I thought you were going to say I have a Wolfman jacket, which would be great to wear over this.
You would be so jealous.
Yeah.
Listen, the reason we get together is not just because we're good friends, and we are. It's because we got a show coming up. We'd love to have you join us. It's November 15th at the beautiful Copley Theater, the newly redone Copley Theater, right across from the historic Paramount Theater in downtown Aurora, and easy to get to. An intimate setting. I think there's 165 seats, something like that.
Wow.
And they've redone the whole theater. It's very cool.
And
I'm taking my boat to this gig. I'm sailing my boat in.
Fantastic.
I'm coming up the river from here to go to the show.
Very cool idea. Yeah. And shows at 5 and at 8. 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock on that Saturday night.
Wait, we're doing two?
Oh,
man.
Is that not good for you?
Well, we'll have to talk about the food arrangement. You only give me one meal. I may have to eat twice.
Oh no, I definitely want to know about your green room needs. We've talked about that before when we've gotten together, but I think it's worth revisiting. But let's check out that personal stuff going on. Tim, what's happening with you? Family good?
Family's great. My wife and I are actually planning our divorce. No, I'm sorry. Let me change it. We're doing a kitchen remodel, so it's kind of almost the same thing.
Yeah, it is.
And I think the divorce might be cheaper, maybe.
Now, in the kitchen remodel, you got everything from IKEA, and you're putting it together.
And it's taken a long time.
You're putting your kitchen together with IKEA.
Over budget, and I got duct tape and Gorilla Glue and frog tape. Yes, it's a disaster. So.
What role do you play in this? Because to my mind, because we redid, my wife and I, not me and my imaginary friend, redid the kitchen and the bedroom and probably a third of the house overall. And my job basically was to go, yeah, I think that's a good idea. And then when she'd question it, go, well, the other idea is not bad as well. And then she'd go, do you think the original or the other one? I said, which way are you leaning? Because I kind of like them both, and to sell it that way. But Tim, I don't want to get in your business here, but to me, it sounds like you might be too involved.
I think I'm learning to say, I don't care. Whatever you decide is fine with me. And I got
you know what you can't say? You can't say, I don't care.
Well, I did.
You can say,
yeah, I don't care is not going to work.
Well, as long as ours always end with me saying, you know what, I wasn't really paying attention.
Also,
and then it's over. Yeah, then it's over.
Right. Have you had, Mike, your grown sons, two married now or one?
One.
Have you had your son that's married come to you and go this or that about, you know what that's like? I had one of those from Ross.
You mean?
Well, it's just layered, right? Because
checking to say, has this ever happened to you?
Yeah, kind of, but it's layered. Like something happened in his house, which he thought I should understand because it's happened in mine. And in my head, I'm thinking I could bust his balls now because he's talking about his mother.
Yeah.
But, it's a moment of father-son bonding where I go, well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no doubt.
No, I don't. Not so much. I mean, they might sound you out a little bit and hear what your thoughts are. But again, what am I going to say that isn't going to crucify myself? You know what I mean?
Well, we all have sons. And my finding is mine doesn't ask for help on anything. Really, I mean, that's not entirely true. He asks for advice on a couple of things professionally because he does a communications job and a fine one. But in general, the little guy that you grew up with, turns out they grow up and they have their own life. I'm not happy.
They do.
I'm not fond of that.
Wow.
Well, my oldest, without ever experiencing how my dad dealt with my comedy, deals with it the exact same way. You know, when I was a kid, I would try to do things funny, and my dad would just go like this. Okay. And my oldest son does the same exact thing. Like I would stand next to the TV when Lawrence Welk was on and try to copy the dance of the soft shoe guy.
Right.
And I would stand right. Yeah. And my dad would just be looking at the TV. His eyes would go over where I was. And then he'd go back to the TV like, okay. That's what my son does. My son doesn't watch Lawrence Welk as hard as I've tried to get him to do it, but he gives me the same response.
So one of the strongest genes in your family is disinterest.
Yeah, or not giving me the benefit of laughing at what I'm doing.
Right.
Okay, so you never pay attention, and they don't care.
Right.
Yeah,
which can sometimes be confused as the same.
Does your other son think you're funny?
I guess so. I mean, I'm kind of proud of him in a way that, you know how when comedians get together and they watch another comedian, they'll kind of look at each other and go, that was a good joke. That was good. Or they'll come up later and go, oh, I wish I'd written that one. But you never really see him rolling on the floor laughing. That's kind of how my kids are.
Yeah, it's funny because I did a show recently with the legendary Mark Giangreco, which was a sit down where I talked to Mark Giangreco about things I know the most about getting fired and in sports.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a great time, lots of laughs. And because normally when we do stand up, it'll be the same at Copley, Mike and Tim and I, we can only see the front couple of rows, or in this case, the front couple of tables. There's a table thing we'll tell you about too, but the lights were up enough during the sit down with Giangreco where I could see the room. And in the back of the room, I could see my wife and my son, Ross, just laughing their heads off.
Nice.
And I'm thinking, I get none of that at home.
All right.
As a matter of fact, in the 2 years, a year and a half that I've been off the radio, I've turned into a dumbass. There is more just like, oh, yeah, we've heard it because you've said it. And we're going to move on now.
Mm-hmm.
Or being ignored. But it's not bothering me. You can tell.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my two sons are very, very immature because they think I'm the funniest guy in the whole world.
Well, I love that.
No, it's just, they do. They encourage me. Jordan, he has the same sense of humor as me. He really does. When he's a musician.
Yeah.
And he's playing on stage. A lot of times he'll want to be funny in between songs, and somebody like me will heckle him from the audience and say, save the comedy for the professionals, please. And Dylan, he thinks I'm funny, but sometimes if I'm being too sarcastic or whatever, he'll start litigating. And it's like, no, it's a joke.
Right.
Don't try and figure out why I'm saying this or whatever.
We don't need a chalkboard. We don't need to break it down. Yeah, and I to be fair, Ross does find me funny. He's a super funny guy, and he's great at punching stuff up. So through the years when I've done stand up, I would run the set with him on the way to the venue.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of just a last minute thing, but also a good luck run. And then he changes his number.
Well, you mentioned the back of the room. My family's on the back of the room. The best I can hope for is what I call, and Tim, you'll know this, I call it the Reuben Kincaid, where they just kind of...
I know Reuben. Yeah.
He's enjoying the Partridge Family, but that's his band. He's not going to go crazy for them.
Well, what's funny, too, is here's a little inside baseball, but when you shoot a sitcom, and the rules have all changed because suddenly everybody's a creator. But when you shoot a sitcom like that, there was at one point during that day, a director who said to Reuben Kincaid, the actor was Jack Cassidy, yes?
Dave Madden.
Sorry.
Jack Cassidy was David Cassidy's father.
That's it. Okay. So the actor playing Reuben Kincaid said, okay, we're going to do your close-up. And the guy had to do that reaction again and again. So Mike, be prepared because, all right,
okay.
And
here we go.
Action. Give me one more, maybe a little less, and action. See, this in and of itself is why you people ought to be watching this podcast on YouTube on the Steve Cochran live from my office channel.
I think at the show we should use our words, though.
Oh, that's a fair point.
This is very physical. I get it, but it's a little quiet.
It's a good point, but you know what? At some point I will do my 80s sitcom head turn from the opening credits. Ready?
That's it.
Doing something.
Yeah, you're going. Right. Right. The new version of that is when you end a podcast and everybody does that awkward thing trying to say goodbye and get off fast enough. Because it's not like a phone call that you hang up. That's a different version of the sitcom over the theme in the beginning. All right. So one of the things we're doing at this show, and again, we're doing stand-up, it's the title of the show. The working title of the show is Whatever Happened to Steve Cochran? And boy, I'd sure like to know. And the men of a certain rage, the three of us will be there. We don't want you to think we're just going to be raging. That's not what we do. We're going to be funny. We're going to make you laugh. And boy, don't we need it now. 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock on November 15th at the Copley. Paramount Arts is the website where you can go to the Copley venue shows, Copley, or Steve Cochran Copley, any of those to get to tickets, or follow the link in the show notes here.
Right. And
one of the things we're going to do, Tim, we've talked about this before. We're going to sell a table on stage.
Nice.
Where we will have 4 people who buy the tickets to be on stage with us.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of fun.
I think so. Yeah. And it's a great thing for us, because if at any moment, and I can't imagine this happening, but if any moment we have a soft spot, you just go right to the table.
I think that's great. And I think we should incorporate whipped cream pies.
I was going to say, if we pretend we're like servers.
Not bad.
You walk by and refer to them as hun. Everything okay here, hun?
And so when we dump stuff on them, they can't be too angry with us because we're being so affectionate and nice.
Right, and taking care of their needs.
Right.
And they'll know the show is almost over when one of us comes over and goes, "Did anybody save any room for dessert?"
Now, I have another idea, and this will tell you the show's not completely fleshed out yet. Well, it's 2-part. One, Tim, you are a former world record holder for being the guy that told the most consecutive jokes over and over again for, what was it, a month and a half?
It was 72 hours.
72 hours nonstop telling jokes.
I was awake for about 64 of those hours.
Okay. Understandable. I think we should try to find the funniest person willing to come to the show, and we'll narrow it down, and somebody has to come up on stage and do a joke.
That's good.
I
thought you were going to say have them come up and do 72 hours. A 72-hour guest set.
Yeah. Be a tad long.
Give him the light. How long has he been up there?
Right.
But if they tell a joke, Tim, my vision here is, because the kids love the viral videos, is we need to figure out a way to hook you up with them in a coaching session to get the best out of their joke.
I see.
That's a good idea.
Video. So, and that's no work for Mike or I, which I think is terrific.
Right. So if I use one of my joke marathons as a basis for the training, I would say a lot of coffee, a lot of sucrets, about a gallon of chloroseptic, and good notes.
So you don't really need anything set up or punchline as long as you have those things?
Well,
they could be overrated.
You really talk goofy after about 60 hours.
I'll bet you do.
Yeah, you do. So yeah, they just have to be goofy enough to tell a joke. Now, a lot of people are great joke tellers, and I appreciate that a lot.
I've seen it the other way, because what I see is people, and you guys know this, throughout all of our lives, we've had people come up to us and go, "Oh, I got a good one for you."
Mm-hmm.
And they start telling it, and they go, "No, wait, no."
Oh, I forgot. There's a horse. There's a horse in it too.
There's a horse and an Irishman who walk into a bar. Hold on, wait, no, that's not right. It's harder than it looks.
My favorite is when somebody will come up to you afterward, like you're saying, "Here's one for you," and it will be the most inappropriate, most disgusting, horrific joke, and you're like, "You just watched me perform. Where would I put that one? Where would that go in what you just watched?"
Right.
Well, you work that out, Mike. You work out where it goes.
Hey, I can't figure out everything.
By the way, do they still make sucrets?
I thought about that when you brought it up. I haven't seen sucrets in years.
I haven't seen them in a while.
Well, that's how long ago that I did those things.
They're backed by the space food sticks.
Oh, yeah.
And Quisp and Quake.
Yeah.
Can you use Tang as a substitute?
And the Baron von Redberry.
Tang has a new definition, Steve. Sorry.
Yeah, stop.
There's a good pull. All right, quick one. Favorite candy from your youth?
Necco's.
The old communion.
What a cheap date.
Every Catholic kid used Necco wafers to play communion. That's how we had fun.
Exactly.
Hey, let's pretend we're giving out communion. Wow, we're living.
Right. No internet, kids. No internet.
The scam of the Neckos was there was different colors, but they all tasted the same.
Yeah, they tasted like
Yeah.
chalk.
I got to tell you something. If I had access to the original, the Hershey bar, it's all I needed in candy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was put some nuts in it. Your joke here. You know, pre the almonds and the Hershey or the Nugs, or this all sounds dirty. Just a standard milk chocolate Hershey bar.
That's
I'm going with the Mallow Cup, and you can still get those in certain places.
You know what? I was never a Mallow Cup guy.
Oh,
but you like your marshmallows.
I do like the marshmallow cream in the middle.
Oh, yeah. That's
my mother
too.
used to leave those out so they would get hard, so they'd be chewier.
This whole thing is filthy. All right, moving on. Now, what I haven't told you guys is 2 days after the show, I am getting my left knee replaced.
Ooh, your right knee is perfect.
Getting a new one.
Yes, as I've said many times before, the right knee is now 4 years old. The left knee is 64 years old, so it's going to be new. Because right now, the right knee is 4 years old. The left knee is 64 years old. The left knee wants to sit. The right knee wants to run. I spend most of the day just spinning in a circle.
But the left knee is wise.
It is wise. But I'm thinking, you know, since I'm having it replaced, maybe I should replace it with something else. Maybe put another elbow in or something.
Yeah.
I just see the leg flaring out all the way to the right.
Or another hand. You know, people go, God, I could use another hand. Yeah.
I would be a little higher than the knee if I had another hand.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And maybe I could get a replacement for that because this one doesn't work like it used to.
Or if Tim's mom leaves the Mallow Cups out long enough, there could be a suitable knee replacement.
It all ties together, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Titanium and marshmallow. Very similar.
And it's going to be a great night, so we hope we can come out. But before we get to any of that, let's get to more of this. This podcast, Live from My Office, we're over 500 episodes now. And podcasts have replaced radio. Great. And in doing so, there's tons of podcasts that are popular and inexplicably popular. Now, just because I don't understand the fact that everybody loves murder, maybe you guys do.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a thing called I believe it's called the Crime Junkies podcast.
Okay.
And one of the things they do
is murder people.
Is they kill people. One of the things they do is they kill people live on their show. Maybe that's why it's such a hit. Now, one of the things they do is they put out a thing called Life Rules, Crime Junkie Life Rules. And I suppose this is how you stay alive. Here's their advice. You never really know anyone. Ever.
No, disagree.
I'm not with that.
How about this? If you have a secret, for the love of God, tell someone, anyone. In other words, it could lead to the person that killed you.
No, I'm 0 for 2 with these people.
Mm-hmm.
The crime junkies say that you need an if I go missing file. What would you put in it?
I understand that kind of. If anything happens to me, here's where you might want to look first. I kind of get that.
Right. Check the casino or Buona Beef for me.
One of the things they say to make sure that you won't be attacked in general is to be weird, be rude, stay alive. That to me kind of goes to the old Steve Martin advice: when you go out in public, throw up on your money.
Right.
Right. This one seems obvious from the crime junkies. Never stay in a highway motel.
I have. How many times have we stayed at a highway?
We have.
But I mean, what kind? I'm not talking about a Holiday Inn. What type of highway motel?
Right, like Highway 31 in the middle of nowhere with the woods on either side of you. We've stayed in those too.
Right, and the sign outside that says a color TV.
Right. Yeah. And one of the letters of motel is burned out. One of them.
So a mom and pop motel, highway motel.
Yeah. Where your door opens to the highway.
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly right. If it's a one-level deal and the doors open to a parking lot, which is a gravel strip of 6 feet, and then it's the road, you got to keep driving, man.
Yeah. I can tell you this great story. It was in northern Wisconsin. You're getting towards the Upper Peninsula, Michigan, you know. And it was called the Triangle Motel. Does that ring a bell with either of you?
No.
Triangle Motel. There was the highway, and then they had rooms on each side of the highway. Okay, so the other comedian and I get to this place, and we check in, and they said, there's only one room left on this side. And since I was driving, I said to the other guy, okay, you take it. I'll check in. I'll drive across the street. And now I'm the only guy on that whole side with all the rooms. and it's dark because it's winter. And I'm like, I'm going to take a nap. So I take a nap, and all of a sudden the headlights pull, because your room is the highway, and the headlights pull right up. And all of a sudden I hear the jiggling of the door.
The door.
And I'm the only one in this whole, and I'm like, sort of scared, but still trying to sound authoritative. Hello? And the guy's like, oh, Christ. And apparently they had given him the same room as me. He checked in shortly after me. Okay.
Because they were short of rooms? You said there's no one that was on your side
Correct.
of the highway.
Correct. So he goes back and tells them what happened. Front desk calls the room where I am, and I answer, and they say, who is this? This is the guy you just checked into the room that you just sent the deer hunter to. And then they're like, if I was breaking into that room, would I answer the phone? Why would I answer the phone?
Right.
I'm going to go break into the Triangle Motel. Here's where I can be found. I'm going to break into room 216. Right. It was the most ridiculous thing ever. But they didn't apologize.
Based on your description, there's not a lot of people breaking into that motel.
No. You break into a better one.
Right.
What's the worst? We've talked about this too, but people don't know that when you're a road dog, when you're a comedian that travels all the time, you're at the whim of the people in whatever town you're going to, and the comedy condo or the hotel setup that they have. So what's the worst setup you had for a place to stay? And we're talking about between the three of us, like 40 years. Most of my stuff was, I was doing the radio thing, so it wasn't traveling like you guys did.
I had to stay in this comedy condo in Toledo with Mike.
Describe it.
With Mike.
Were we there together?
Yeah. Actually, was that Toledo or was that? No, I might be confusing it. Was it Dayton? We might.
Oh, yeah, I think it was Dayton. Yes. Is that the one where you were like you were dead and I took the picture of you?
I fell asleep in a very, very old recliner. And,
with your hands across your chest?
Yeah, kind of. And because I was kind of curled over, my gut was coming out, and I looked like I was 9 months pregnant. And Mike was kind enough to take a picture.
Sweet. Good for you, Mike. It's great that you wanted to capture a memory of your time together.
Yeah, and Mike talked about the world's greatest Elvis impersonator for a majority of the weekend.
Well, he's one of the best.
No. Maybe you have a favorite since then, but you said
we discovered him that night, and I was like, well, this guy's as good as any I've seen voice wise.
Right. He's Korean for one.
Most of your great Elvis impersonators are Asian.
Yes.
That I don't know why it worked so well. What was his name?
His name was Ben Portsmouth from the UK. Yeah. Check him out. Ben Portsmouth. Korean. Spelled like Portsmouth, but check him out.
Korean. Yeah.
I still have nightmares about that.
Check out his Letterman appearance. That's what we saw.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, that was when Dave did Elvis Week, I think. And Elvis.
It is actually. Yeah, he had a different guy every night.
Here's another piece of advice for travelers from the Crime Junkies on how not to get murdered. This is advice from other podcasts or trying to figure out why these other podcasts are so popular. Never get in a white van or never get out of a white van.
Huh?
Yeah.
See, I disagree with that because my regular business, I have about 8 white vans.
Yeah, right. So I guess the white van needs to have a logo on it with a company.
Right.
And a tracking phone number.
Right. And mine has a picture of 2 kids. Is that good or bad?
The great news for you is there's a guy that edits this.
Yeah, in balloons, as long as we're editing.
Right now, Ross Cochran is just shaking his head.
And Winnie the Pooh. All right, never mind. Just...
Here's a tip from the Crime Junkies. I don't think we should need this, but if you get pulled over by an unmarked car, it's okay to put your hazards on, keep the doors locked, and call the police to verify that it's a cop that's following you.
Absolutely.
I agree with that one.
Yeah.
For sure.
I got pulled over by a cop one time, and it was the cop who goes to bachelorette parties as his strips. I got pulled over by that guy. So when he gets to the car and he has a plastic badge, a boombox, and a ponytail, it's not a real cop.
That's not a cop. You know what?
That's the guy at the party.
That's a great tip.
Think of that concept. It worked once. The first guy to ever do that and said that they got a report that they were partying too hard. It worked. The first guy that did it, it worked.
Right. And again, kids, no internet. It was the 70s. no internet. And one more, don't hitchhike. Well, not anymore.
Does anybody do that?
It was a primary way to get around when we were kids.
I did quite a bit.
You did?
When I moved to New York, I did that quite a bit.
Well, I told you as a kid, as a 7 or an 8-year-old kid, I hitchhiked to the local radio station that I would end up working at, my first radio job. But I was 7 years old. I won a coupon for a McDonald's hamburger. And at 7, my brother who was 10 and a cousin who was 9 or 10, the three of us hitchhiked with our parents' permission about 20 miles to the nearest town, which was Ithaca, 15 miles probably, to get the coupon for the hamburger.
And then hitchhike back, obviously.
Oh, yeah, your parents are going to come get you. They got stuff going on.
Wait, you skipped the part about cutting the hamburger in 3 pieces.
Yeah.
You're assuming I shared. Yeah.
Why would they go unless there was a third of a hamburger in it for them?
You know, they probably felt like it was an adventure. You know, you're 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. Who doesn't want to hitchhike? So, but I think the fact that we all lived through that proves there's no danger. Please let your kids hitchhike this weekend.
No, it's fine. So you got the ride to McDonald's and you got the certificate, or you got the hamburger itself?
I got the certificate. And by the way, it was for the hamburger, cheese. I'm a big fan of cheese. Cheese, you had to pay extra.
Yeah, it was just a hamburger.
And that was when they had the numbers on the sign, you know.
How many were sold?
47. It was early.
It was, so there were only 47.
Yeah, it was lower. Yeah,
and you didn't even change the number because yours was free.
Exactly.
Right.
It didn't even count. All right, here's another popular podcast, and I don't necessarily understand why. The Joe Rogan podcast.
Okay.
Have you guys ever listened to it?
I have to say that I have not. As popular as it is, I have not.
Nope, I haven't either.
One of the reasons he got super popular was a show that he did, and I can't remember the name, where people ate really nasty stuff. Oh, it's Fear Factor. Fear Factor. You guys remember Fear Factor?
I do. Yes.
And prior to that, he was on news radio as one of the cast, and that was a good sitcom. That was funny. But Fear Factor, they would be asked to eat really bizarre things on a dare. It was part of this game show that he did. You know, this chicken wing thing, this hot wing show is super popular now. I don't think dinner should hurt you. I don't think you should be harmed by your food.
There were limits.
So this is going to sound dirty too. Tim, what's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
The weirdest thing I ate was ostrich at a Greek restaurant in Manhattan.
Ostrich?
Yes. And I don't know why they were serving it at a Greek restaurant, but that was the oddest thing. You know, I've had frog legs. That's not too uncommon. But yeah, I think,
Did it taste like chicken?
Absolutely. You just got to put a little butter and garlic on stuff, and it all tastes like chicken. I actually did have pig brain hash when I was in Sweden. And they told me after I ate it, thank you very much. They don't want to tell you before.
Remember our garage band?
It was
Pig
called
Brain Hash?
Yeah, it was great.
We were good.
Yeah, we played a lot of state fairs.
And then the one time, the other horrible thing I had was a free hamburger that I had to hitchhike to.
Please don't let your kids do that.
They didn't put cheese on it. That's why it was horrible.
Speaking of cheese, do you ever have head cheese?
What?
I've seen it at the deli and always wondered who's buying it. And that, with that said, how long does it sit? Because no one ever asked for it.
Head cheese, I could be wrong about this, but I believe it's what they scrape out of the inside of the head
Yeah.
of the pig, the head cheese.
Nope, never had it.
But who goes to the deli and says, pound of roast beef and 3/4 of head cheese?
Ted Bundy.
But how could that be worse than, remember Oscar Mayer used to have this thing called sandwich spread?
Yeah, but wasn't that just pureed bologna?
No, it was pureed ham.
Mystery meat.
Ham and pork and beef and ostrich.
So it was like Spam without the can.
But it was really, really mushy and spreadable, and it had like pickle relish in it. It was bad.
So it was like if you ground a hot dog up to a butter consistency, spreadable hot dog.
I think there was ham in it. Well, I guess there is pork in bad hot.
Well, if you ground a hot dog up, you chewed it, and then I spit it into your mouth. It would be the same thing.
Oh, like the old days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So head cheese, the thing Tim had. Mike, worst thing you've ever...
You know how that concept of they'll just bring a bowl of something to your table and it's all deep fried and it's always good because it's deep fried batter. It doesn't really matter what's in the center.
Sure.
I've always been very scared whenever anyone brings up eating the turkey testicles, around Thanksgiving. They have festivals about it and say, turkey. And I'm like, I will never do that. Well, we had some people come to the station right there on set, cook up the turkey, Channel 9 Chicago, cook up the turkey testicles. And I'm like, okay, it must be decent because they make a big deal out of these. Why am I being like, okay, I'll take a bite out of one. It's got to be like you bite into it and it's a deep fried something that has substance to it. And it tasted like a ball. Like there was I should have trusted my initial instinct. It didn't taste like a good deep fried appetizer thing in a basket at Chili's. It tasted like a ball. Like, I can't even describe the consistency and the instant grotesque nature of this. It was
like a rubber bouncy Super Ball kind of ball, or
and you just like you broke it, like
a super chewy testicle.
Yeah, but gross.
That's the name of the fast food place.
What is it called?
Super chewy.
Super chewy testicles.
Super chewy. They have a cute logo though. I have that on a t-shirt as well. I almost wore that one today instead of the Wolfman. Super gooey testicle guy.
That's right.
So
get a bucket of balls. Go out and get a bucket of balls. Ever hear somebody say that?
Actually, I have. Yeah. It's on a golf course.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan, Fear Factor. And then he goes to this Ultimate Fighting thing. And that's the new boxing. When we were kids, boxing was the deal. The new boxing now is you can kick and punch, and they do it in a cage, and it's making $1 bazillion. And Joe Rogan was, a commentator on that and eventually turned it into this podcast. I don't know that I've ever watched a full Ultimate Fighting match. Are you guys into that?
Not so much.
I've seen a few of them. I had a neighbor who, of course, was just totally immersed in this, and he would record them. So he would have people over in his garage, and he would run them one after one. I did learn one thing: these guys, not only are they tough, and they're brutal once they're inside that cage. They're the nicest guys in the whole world. 90% of them, they're nice. There were 2 guys who would have sick kids who would come there, and they would let them hold the belt, and they would give half their purse to the kid. I mean, I was really, really impressed because I just thought they were these guys who should be in prison, but instead they're beating the junk out of other guys. But no, they're sportsmen. A lot of times after they just beat the heck out of somebody, they'll like pat them on the head or they'll go whisper them and give them a big hug and everything. Like that's weird. That's sports.
Sorry, I choked you out, dude.
Yeah. The other one of the 3 podcasts I pulled that are super popular is a show called Call Her Daddy. Call Her Daddy.
Mm-hmm.
You know about this?
You're saying call her daddy or call her daddy?
Call Her Daddy. I don't know why it's called that. Call Her Daddy. Do you call her daddy or do you call her daddy?
Get her daddy on the phone is what it sounds like.
Right.
That's what it sounds like, yeah.
The show is supposedly all about empowering women. So is she your daddy? Her name's Alex. I think it's Alex. It's Alice Cooper. I can't think of her last name. But anyway, she's a big, big, big podcast star and a big social media star. And it's called Call Her Daddy. So here's some podcast topics that she dove into. How to love being alone.
How to love it?
Yeah. Some of my best times are when I'm by myself.
Yeah, same here.
I don't mind. I like being alone. But I think women, and I don't want to generalize here, but I think women, that's an acquired skill. They don't like being alone like we do. Because honestly, we as men, we're disgusting.
Well, that would encourage them to want to be alone. Like that's depending on who you live with, that being alone stuff could be great for them.
You would think, right? Yeah. How to love being alone. How about this one? He's not just a bad texter.
He's stupid.
Well, I think what it is there's a date and you didn't hear from him, and maybe his texts don't
I get what you're
so
saying.
much.
Yeah.
And Alex is saying he's not just a bad texter.
Maybe they're saying he hasn't texted me after this date, so he must be bad at it. But he's not. He's ghosting.
And then this one, how to survive wedding season. Now, to me,
what does that mean?
To me, I think again, women who are single who go to weddings, it's something that they don't enjoy, or if they do enjoy it, they can't help but put themselves in a position going, "Is this going to happen for me?" I
There's
think
nothing.
that's what it means.
There's nothing like a woman who feels left out of something. That's that's a strong emote right there.
And it's not a safe place for men to be.
It is not a safe place. Like, you ever see a woman who's jealous of another woman for one reason or another?
Not good.
That's not a pretty color.
Not good. You know, I was at a wedding this past weekend, and I feel badly about the fact my wife loves weddings. She likes to go around people and party. She doesn't really have the fear of missing out thing, the FOMO. As you guys know, I have phobia, fear of being included. You know, everyone should invite me to things. I'm a great gift giver, and I'll almost never show up. But the wedding was great. I mean, it's a kid that grew up next to us. He's a grown man now. I married a lovely girl. I hope they're happy forever. And I couldn't wait to come home.
Hmm.
I don't know. And the older we get, I'm sure you guys have noticed this, it's almost turned into, gangs on opposite sides of the room. Because there's the parents and the grandparents and the friends of the parents, the old people. And the other side of the room are the kids getting married and all the kids' friends. And they're having fun. And at some point, the old people should just leave. They should just leave.
That's
Right.
usually how it goes.
I like to be there for a little while and complain, oh,
Right.
the speeches are too long. Oh, the wedding ceremony had like 2 intermissions. The music's too loud. I like to cry at weddings when the DJ starts.
Like a good cleansing cry.
Right. Why do they hire this guy, the DJ?
So, Mike, you're going to a wedding soon, right?
Yes, we are. Our niece, my wife's brother's daughter, is getting married. So that's we have to travel to go to that one that's coming up, and kind of divides the number of people who show up, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, destination weddings lower the number.
Right. But I have found, and you, Tim, you mentioned that the speeches were too long. When did all these speeches start happening? It didn't used to be that, right? Like one person, the best man, would say a word or two. Now the father of the bride is expected to speak. The best man, the maid of honor, is expected to speak. And anybody else who wants to, it's the Dean Martin celebrity roast after a while.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. The wedding I was at this weekend, the valet parking kid came in. He did 10 minutes.
He had a little something to say.
Hey, I know you guys don't drink, but don't close the bar and then start the speeches. I have to sit through those things. So I can't drink, and I'm waiting for the food to be served.
And we've all seen the incredibly awkward best man speech, right?
Exactly.
Where the best man is either drunk or nervous.
Yeah.
A legendary one in my world is my wife worked for a company where a family all worked for this particular retail outlet, and one of the brothers was getting married. The other brother was the best man, and the brother was the best man. Names are being changed here to protect the innocent.
That's why you didn't say the name of the retail outlet. It was Venture. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was Venture. That's right. And he's doing the speech, and he said, "Hey, I remember when Tina came in the first time. And my brother and me, we were just flipping a coin to decide who was going to do her." Honey, what a sweet wedding day.
But it's from the heart.
It is.
He's just saying she's beautiful.
So you got a bad wedding toast that stuck in your mind?
I remember being at one wedding where the guy had cards and the cards got mixed up. So he was like, so wait. So when I was saying 4, and then he was kind of drunk, so he had to find the card that would have, he had speech cards and they weren't in the proper sequence. So he had to backtrack, and he was also a little bit lit.
That's not good. No, it's not good. Have you ever had to do a wedding toast?
I did for my brother, but I don't remember that it was anything all that involved. I just kind of did the old.
Were you expected to be funny?
Yeah. So I think I just said, "Oh, congratulations."
I know. When they want you to be funny, you go, "No, I'm not doing this."
Right. Too much pressure.
Right.
Let somebody surprise them by being funny.
So I wrote the speech for my brother's wedding. Of course, he had to see the script. He had to edit it. I had to redo it. Yeah, he wanted to make sure that it was straightforward. He did not want me to be funny at all.
I'm sorry.
If you were more popular, is that why?
Yeah, he said if I had a more celebrity type brother, then I could have been funny.
Well, there was a funny one. My nephew got married, and my other nephew was his best man. And he said, I'm going to do the speech. And he pulled out the paper and was clearly reading it. And he said, Mike his name was Mike. He said, he's very smart, very handsome, very bright, He's like, sorry, Mike, I'm having a hard time reading your writing.
Okay, not bad.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Not bad. It's not bad. So now the problem, Mike, when you go to weddings is, I don't think a lot of people know this, is the DJ will play Footloose and you'll have to do the dance because you, of course, did all of the stunt work for that movie.
I did.
You were the stunt dancer.
Yes, most of that stuff in the barn, that's me.
Most of the stuff in the barn in any movie is you.
Yeah, they bring in the hayride and then I do a little barn dance.
All right, well, let's wrap this up for now because we're going to have to come back and do more. It's ParamountAurora.com. Paramount Theater is in Aurora, the classic, one of the great theaters in the country. And we're at the Copley right across the street, part of the Paramount family. It's November 15th, 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock. 2 shows, Tim.
All right, I'll write that down and I'll bring a bag lunch.
2 shows, and we can't wait to see you there. It's going to be a ton of fun, and there's more things to come.
Tickets are $1,600. What?
Actually, you know what? Tickets are ridiculously reasonable. I think it's like $35.
It's 36.
We live in a world where $200 and $300 and $400 tickets are the norm now.
Man, we delayed doing our kitchen because we went to see the Eagles in 2022.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is they need the money. And the green room is where the acts wait to go on. So while we're back there, you guys need to get me your concert riders, part of the contract that says what you need. Anything off the top of your head?
I need a hostess to open up my bottled water for me.
Okay. All right. Hostess, bottled water.
2 things is all I need.
I'm going to pretend to write that down.
Slim Jims and Robitussin.
The breakfast of champions.
That's all I ever asked for.
Yeah, and what's funny is Tim and I hosted a morning show in El Paso, and that was our name. We were Slim Jims and Robitussin.
Slim Jim and Robitussin.
Yeah, you were Slim Jim. I was Robitussin.
And now my old rider, Tim, you know this, what my old rider used to be. Cream corn and Hawaiian punch.
Oh, that's fantastic.
But I matured,
Nah, you're a grown man.
Yeah.
All right, couple of plugs. Every morning on the WGN Morning News, number 1 since
the beginning of time.
The beginning of time. That's exactly right. Since, we're talking about the 1700s when TV was first tried. But it's the number 1 morning show. And at 9 o'clock hour, you're the regular cast member there, the announcer. You're also doing bits for the show all the time. And then you got your own show on the weekend.
That's right. And that show is called Laugh Tracks. You can find it on the WGN Plus TV app. And that the first run is 10 a.m. on Saturday mornings. And then we get replayed 4 p.m. on Saturday and 4 p.m. on Sunday. And we are having so much fun doing this. We've had some great guests this Saturday. Jeff Garland, we did a 2-part interview with Jeff Garland. So this week is part 2 with Jeff.
So when was Jeff in town? Because Jeff said, next time I'm in town, I want to call you. When was that he was in town?
He was here for that first Bears, that Monday night Bears game. That was when we did the interview.
All right, Jeff. Make a call there. Tim, you and I have the only thing that I'm aware of that you and I have to plug is the show in November, unless you got one you're going to surprise me with.
Excuse me, Wednesday night at Zany's, they have Best of Chicago in a couple of weeks. I'm going to be there. I have to call them and let them know, but I'll be.
I have to call them and let them know that I'm one of the best of Chicago.
Right.
You don't want to do the stupid show. You just want to let them know that.
Right. I just want to let them know.
Right. Well, that's great. And this is live from my office. You can go to cochranshow.com, and on the website, you'll find everything that I'm involved with and we're involved with. In addition to that, I write on Substack, substack.com, Steve Cochran. And don't forget about the Live from My Office YouTube channel as well. But most importantly, Mike has a new Wolfman shirt.
Yes. Look at him. And it says Wolfman under it.
And that's why you go to YouTube. That's it right there.
That's right.
Mike Toomey, Tim Benker, Steve Cochran. We'll see you in November at the Copley. Check the show notes for the link for the tickets, or go to the ParamountArts.com and just look for the Copley events.
Thank you, Steve.
For November 15th. Thank you, guys.
See ya.
See you later.
That's cool. I like that. Great pace.
Very
I
nice.
almost turned into Wolfman.